Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video, like what are we doing? We're not covering like one thing, we're covering a bunch of things because we've got a ton of stuff going on right now. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 trucks right at this very minute being worked on at the same time. And we've done
Inside this shop or like Jamestown included?
Jamestown here and across the road.
Because Jamestown, well, yeah, I forgot about across the road.
Actually, Jamestown's got 2 simultaneously going on.
Well, 2 simultaneously and then 2 in the queue that they've already like started taking apart.
Right.
And so Brian's gonna head up to Jamestown and give you guys all an update on that. We got a shop full ourselves. We got one outside the door here, and then we've got, I don't know, we got the one across the street.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch. And we kind of figured we're going to do a video. We're going to show you some of the progress we've made on the truck behind us. We're going to show you what we've been doing on the truck back over there. And then me and Shock are running up this morning, and we're going to Jamestown, and we gotta like clean the roof off on the truck. We're gonna show you the paint job for Bill's new blue truck, and then we're taking everything off the roof, actually deleting the horns and taking the visor off, and we're gonna be painting the roof cap on it now because we're gonna swap the visor out. So we'll show you a little bit of that, and we'll show you an update on Silver Dollar because that thing is all tore apart too.
So, yep, lot to cover and lots to go over. So
Let's just go get into it.
yeah, let's do this.
All right, so like I said, we run up here this morning, me and Shock did, and they've got the blue truck painted, buffed out of the paint shop. After we got everything done, kind of went ahead and made a decision that we're gonna take the visor off, take the horns off, paint the roof cap, and we're gonna be putting a RLK visor back on this truck. Just kind of make it, clean it up a little bit, but I'll show you this paint job they've done. A really good job with it. It's you can't hardly tell the line in this at all. So basically they've done the 2 colors and then they've cleared over it and buffed it out and feathered the line. It's you can barely feel it, and from a distance you'll never see it. It's a really good option when doing stripes if you want something that's like better than the factory and not break the bank of like clearing the entire truck, but it looks awesome. It looks really cool. So we get this whole thing done and get it outside, put everything back on it. We'll obviously show you guys, but it's getting there. And then over here we got Silver Dollar all disassembled, getting ready to get some. I think they're planning to put some paint on this on parts. They're gonna start painting parts. Fingers crossed we'll be able to do it tomorrow, and we'll start doing the body color stuff first. So we'll be doing the cab sleeper panels, the fenders, the shock box cover in the back, the visor. We'll be painting all those pieces. Tanks, they gotta get those prepped still, but the tanks will get done. And then the frame will probably be the last little piece that they paint. They've already started doing some of the prep work on the frame, and back there we smoothed everything out. They've already got a good bit of this done. Probably still needs a little bit of block sanding, but it's close. And obviously, like on the hangers here, we'll smooth these hangers out and sand them real well and make them look real nice and kind of give them that glass look to them after everything's said and done. And yeah, it's kind of coming along. Got a good bit going on here, so pretty excited about it. Still got to grind the edges and round all the corners on the fifth wheel, but deck plates out and then getting all that stuff together to paint, and yeah, things gonna look sharp. But that's it for over here right now. I think we'll probably get this truck back from paint maybe, I don't know, it's probably going to be here another 8 days. Here's all our brackets for the fenders, so they still got a little bit of work to be done to them before they can paint them. But all of these pieces here, they'll also go the North Sea gray like the frame is. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of plugging right along right now. Be neat. get this thing back in the shop and all put back together. It won't be real long. And there's a trailer coming from this thing. Peter's been polishing out the trailer that's going with this truck, and we'll get it back, which I'll show you maybe in a couple of days, but it looks freaking amazing. It's a completely polished out step deck, and he's done a killer job on it. And when we get it back, we got a little bit to do to it also, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. We're making some good headway on this. The prep work is like the longest extent of this whole thing, and then as soon as the prep's done, you know, the paint goes by a lot faster, but it's getting there. So when you're removing the visor, what you get to do is grind these guys off. And then once you take this bracket off right here, it'll be black behind there. And then you gotta paint that. And with like the RLK visor we're putting on this truck, you'll see this it'll be very apparent, you'll be able to see it. So you end up just grind these heads off, you put new rivets in, we'll kind of smooth all that off, and then they'll paint this whole roof cap. That way it looks like it should. Like I said, because that visor is gonna show it really well. And then the horns. We'll have to fill the holes on the roof of the horns. So there's a little bit to be done there. And that's what I'm talking about right there. So you just throw that on the ground like that, because you're never using that again. A little violent there, Chuck.
Yeah.
I mean, are you mad or something? And you just threw
It's
that.
early in the morning.
It's too early in the morning. But anyway, so we'll just smooth that up. You can see kind of where it's poked out a little bit from the rivet coming out. No big deal. Clean all that up, put some rivets back in there, and get this thing prepped to paint. This is kind of why, like, when you take a stock visor off, you got to paint the roof cap, in case anybody ever wondered. So if anybody was ever wondering what it takes to remove a set of horns off of a truck, well, it takes some grinding, a hammer, screwdriver, and then some body work. Good thing we're painting the roof cap. Hey Chris, I left you some extra work to do. I gave Chris a little extra work to do there. I got you some extra work to do up here. Sorry.
I believe.
But now we got those off, they'll fill these holes, make them all nice and smooth up here in the front. We got the rear ones to still deal with, but we're getting there. We're getting there, and we can paint this thing, put a visor on it, and be ready to hit the road. Probably have to put horns on this thing somewhere too now, because it don't have none, right? No, you don't want to put horns on it?
Got city.
You cannot only have a city horn on this truck. That is not cool. We're gonna put some horns under the sleeper or something, I'm sure. But yeah, if anybody's ever wondering, if you take your horn deal off, what it looks like after you grind the rivets off and pry that deal off there, you got that. You get 2 holes and a big black spot. All right, real quick, went ahead and did a quick deal on this hanger. So it's a whole lot smoother. All your edges kind of are uniform going around. All the bumps and and cut marks and everything else are gone, and makes this look all nice and smooth. Once you get a good coat of primer and paint on this thing, it'll look like glass. So that one's done for the most part. And then I'll show you just so you can see in comparison what the other side looks like. As you can see in here, there's all these nasty like cut marks, and then you can see all this texture and everything else that's in there, and kind of imperfections in how this whole thing looks. When you paint it, that'll all still be there. So now we'll do this side, and it'll look all nice and pretty when it's done. Did that real quick, and then started working on this fifth wheel, just kind of cleaning up the edges, rounding them off, make it look a little nicer. Helps hold the paint, lasts longer that way. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. I'm gonna start working on this one next, and they're gonna get those horns off, and then me and Shock gotta get back up to the shop because well, we got some other cool stuff to show you guys. All right, so back over to our shop real quick. If you've been paying attention to the other videos, that corner had a lot of stuff in it. And now it doesn't, because we had some like stuff that was like to go on trucks and it didn't go on a truck, and I don't know, some things get shipped here, we just kind of set it there, and it started to become like this like place where you just put things that we didn't necessarily need in here, and we never moved them back over to the warehouse.
It was the catch-all bay for sure.
Yeah.
It did fit. It caught a lot of junk for a long time. It was a lot of takeoff parts and extra parts or changed parts. You know, if a customer came in and said, hey, I want this bumper and not this bumper, we're like, okay, so we just took that bumper and we set it in the corner.
We basically kind of got a little lazy and just kept sticking it in here. But we've got another truck that we're fixing to start on, and you're really excited about it because it's got your favorite transmission in it, and it's right here, and we're going to be pulling it in very soon. But we got everything cleared out because we're going to go pick his parts up today. We're going to put them in that corner so we can start working on it, and then, you know, probably late next week we'll get Silver Dollar back from paint.
Yep.
And then he'll come in here and we'll get all the final stuff done on it. And the trailer for that will be back tomorrow, and we've got some work to do to the trailer. So we had to clean up in here and get some room. And we're not completely done. Like, that stuff's going out to the dumpster. This stuff's going back over to the warehouse, and this stuff here. But once all that's done, we have a much cleaner place to work and get things done.
Yeah.
Because we needed to. It was getting kind of bad.
Yeah, not to mention we got a couple of quick in and out jobs that we've had our eyes, we've basically had our eye on them for several months now. Some trucks that we're building from Peterbilt Corporate that need to be quick turnaround once they get in here. So we got, you know, some.
We needed some room.
Yeah, we needed the extra room.
So anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about and show you guys that I'm pretty excited is Lucky J. That's the name of the truck, Lucky J. And there's a big thing. A lot of people follow the channel, and I still don't really 100% understand why, really hate the dummy exhaust setup.
Yes.
This truck was spec'd with the dummy exhaust setup. So it had, when it came to us, it had
The toolbox.
the toolbox, which is a dead giveaway, and it was a grass burner. It is no longer a grass burner,
It's not a grass burner no more.
and it was a huge pain in the butt.
The exhaust is coming out the top.
Yes. So I'm going to show you guys what we did. I'll crawl under here and kind of give you the lowdown. Basically, if you can look in here, we took that can and we moved that can back about 2 feet, maybe a little bit more than that, to be honest. Then the exhaust turns around and goes back towards the front. You can see how it's going back up there, back up to the front this way, and then it comes around, and we made this new pipe that is now going from the turbo to our can over top of our Y pipe right here. There was a lot of cutting and welding and measuring and redoing things 3 or 4 times just to make sure that we made this have enough clearance, because this exhaust system itself, it's bolted right here. Focus on that, there we go. It's bolted to the cab, so the exhaust actually moves with the cab, so you had to make sure that you had enough room between those two guys that they would not hit. And it's got plenty of room because we've already tested it and it worked really well. So I'm pretty happy about that. That took some time. Like, it was a huge headache.
Yeah. No, this has been one of those ongoing projects for a long time. But the good news is, now that we finally have this done, we can make some larger steps as far as the progression of this particular build.
Yes, because we're going to be pulling the motor out and everything else. But before we're doing that, we're going to hide the DEF tank, which is going to be a chore in itself because it's the new DEF tank.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like real quick before we go talk about the DEF tank too much, I do want to crawl under this and show this setup a little bit closer, or at least like stick the camera in here from this angle. No, you can't do it. I gotta crawl under it. Hang on. You can kind of tell back up there towards the front of the engine, our pipe comes down, and then it goes up over and into the can there, and you got your Y pipe, and everything is all welded together, and we're using some V-band clamps at the Y right there, going into it, and then you got your regular stock brackets back there coming out to your stacks. So it all works really good. We fired the truck up. We have run it through its paces and everything worked just fine. I'm probably going to take all this back off and send it out to get ceramic coated because it'll just look way nicer. And I'm sure somebody's also wondering, like, if you're standing here in the back of the truck and you're like, well, look at this pipe turns around, it's under the drive shaft and it's kind of unsightly if you're looking at it between the tanks, but we've got an answer for that too, don't we?
Yeah, so it's actually going to do probably a little bit to keep the exhaust cool. It was actually an older design. There was a Kenworth several years ago. I think it was with the bridge motors on the Cats.
Yeah.
So basically, when the exhaust came out and it went down, it made a U-turn before it went back and then straight up, and then the Y pipe was right underneath the cab before it turned out and went up as far as the exhaust goes. And the reason I think they did that, my best guess, is they did it to keep the exhaust piping a little bit cooler, which, following that same theory, hopefully these stacks will run a little bit cooler than what your typical average, full-on active exhaust will.
Yeah, that's true. And I was like, I thought some people might actually kind of be worried about that whole thing. For the way it 180s, it does nothing, it changes nothing on the back pressure to any degree that matters whatsoever. We did a bunch of research and checking in on all that stuff. I want to show them that between the tank deal real quick over here. It's because that's part of how we're at height. So right there before we climbed out, we were talking about the whole deal with the Kenworths and that all being the same. This dude is what's going to help hide kind of the whole setup. So this goes right under here between the two fuel tanks, and you'll have your 4 lights in it. The drive shaft goes to the middle of it, but this will hide kind of how we 180 it and everything else. Once you put your cabin sleeper panels on this too, it starts to even further hide everything.
It's gonna go right there.
Like I should have stuck this up there before we start the video.
It's all right. They like seeing you in action, Brian.
Yeah. I'm not crawling there and doing all this, but you get the idea. It hangs it down the frame and it hides everything. I mean, totally works. But that's what'll happen there.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. It follows the radius of the tanks and everything like that.
It'll look nice.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about, real quick, the DEF tank. Because I know we brought it up in some other videos, and we've already put up, this has all been off the truck and back on the truck like 3 times. It's all back in like factory configuration for the most part. And they're actually cutting me out the new brackets for the DEF tank. But essentially we're gonna hide this DEF tank inside a split fuel tank. The challenge is that the new DEF tank is a whole lot bigger, and we really don't have a lot of room for it to fit. You can already tell right now it's way too high. So the new brackets are gonna bring that thing down and lower it in. And also suck it in closer to the frame a little bit.
Yeah, so it goes a little taller than the fuel tank, which if you're doing the hidden DEF tank, like basically it needs to be a little bit lower, which means it's gonna have to just stick out the bottom there.
Yeah. So we're hoping to get that all knocked out in the next few days, and maybe, I don't know, in a week or 2, we will show you guys that whole setup all finished.
To my knowledge, this will be the first new style DEF tank with a.
I haven't seen anybody else done it.
I've not seen one done yet.
And if they have done it, I bet they got a headache from it.
It's not going to be easy.
But we're gonna get that knocked out, and then I'll show you kind of what we're doing here. This truck, we're also moving the def tank. This one's getting 6-inch panels on it, and because the 6-inch panels, you can't fill the def tank up. So you actually have to lower the def tank down just so you can put def fluid in it, which we're gonna be finishing that up this afternoon. Then we'll work on hanging the exhaust. We're putting boxes on this guy. We've already done the window chops, the visors on it, painted the inside of the visor to match. Can't quite tell. Oh, one cool thing we did. Here, hold this. Check out the mirror. Right here.
Ooh.
So you can't, you know, with the aero mirror setup, you cannot get, you can't really put a light there. And just kind of talking to Brian Hood, this is his truck, Brian Hood's truck. When he was over here, I was like, you know, why couldn't we just take this mirror apart and stick a little button light right there that works with a blinker? And there you go.
The blinker.
It is a blinker. I don't care what anybody else says.
Has it got plenty of blinker fluid in it?
Got plenty of blinker fluid in it. So I think that's a pretty cool setup. It gets the job done. It's different. And over here, we got the grill in, so super clean look, no grill. We took all the emblems off of the, or all the red out of the emblems, and
No
I gotta
grill
put
bars.
the hood emblem back on the front here, but we got that too done. We had 2 lights up on the roof.
Yeah. Just a little bit of red because of the American flag, the reflection. I promise you, there's no red in it.
There's no red in it. And but anyway, so it's getting stainless 6-inch panels on it with underglow lights. We're doing Hogue built the ultra low rider half fenders on this dude, and I believe we're gonna blind mount these and a few other little things. But you'll get to see that when we get this whole thing done. We'll make a video. We'll drive down the road. It'll be super cool when it's finished. So that's what's going on in the shop today.
Nice.
All right, guys, that is it for this video. You know, what do you guys think about the exhaust deal? I'm kind of super proud of all of us that worked on that because it was a pain in the butt, but it totally works.
Yeah, it's different, it's cool, and it's one of those things where it is the perfect blend of, you know, everybody talking about horizontal versus vertical exhaust. Everybody, there's all the people who said, I want vertical exhaust because it's active, and I get the big pipes and they're active pipes. And then there's all the people that say, well, I wanted the horizontal because I get the smaller box on the passenger side.
Right.
This way, it's the best of both worlds. This guy's gonna have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, like my biggest pet peeve is like I would prefer trucks have the same box on both sides. We get that. He gets the exhaust at the top. Like everybody says, win-win.
There's really no way to lose on that scenario.
Now that it works, I don't have to stay here till like 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning screwing with it anymore. A whole long story. It wasn't fun, but you know, we got a pile of parts right here going on Brian Hood's truck, and we got a lot to do there. You'll see it soon. But
lots of fun videos coming out this week.
Oh
too,
yeah,
so,
absolutely.
yeah, some good stuff. So stay tuned. And also, you guys know what to do. You got to like, you got to subscribe, follow us on Instagram,
At Semi Casual Show.
and also go check out some of this sweet semi-casual merch. It is at semicasual.com or semicasualshow.com, and then click on the merchandise tab, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff on there. I'm really proud of these hoodies, especially today when it's 45 degrees outside. That's getting
nice.
cold in Tennessee.
I didn't wear mine. Actually, I didn't want to mess it up, so I wore
right, you
I wore
got
my
Diesel
Diesel
Life.
Life one on today.
You got
But
Diesel Life.
but yeah, hope you guys like the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys next time.
Later.